Hey guys, we're back and we're ready to do Old Yharnam this time. First, I'm gonna go and purchase the gas coin set. So I took one of the other Madman's knowledge that I picked up in Central Yharnam just to get this set. And the reason for that is it has pretty good poison resist, and the next area is the first instance where you can get poisoned quite a lot. So just keeping that in mind. So we need to do a bit of Cathedral Ward to start off with, and then we can go down to Old Yharnam. But as soon as we finish Old Yharnam, the Arcane build kind of opens out a lot, because we're immediately going to be able to get a Waning Fire gem, and in order to put that in our weapon, to make it a fire weapon, we'll need to get the weapon to +6 as well, which we can do just from running around and picking up twin Bloodstone shards. You'll need 16 of them, but after you kill Bloodstar Beast, you do have the ability to go and pick up a bunch of twin Bloodstone shards, so there's that as well. Now, I hate these enemies here. I can't remember if I killed them last time or not. But those enemies, I think they're actually weak to bolt. I don't remember entirely which enemies are weak to what elements, so you know. I might have to learn a few of them, but I'm pretty sure those guys are weak to bolt, but either way, bolt or fire, they're probably weak to them, and we don't really need to we don't have a fire weapon right now. Oh, I forgot there's two of these guys here. We don't really have a fire weapon yet anyway, so it's kind of irrelevant. Ow. I really hate fighting these guys, I don't know why. I think they're pretty okay to parry, so I don't know. Yeah, the wind shield. I like how they put that shield in as basically a joke in the game. That's great. But I believe it can actually block gunshots quite well, or blood attacks. But that's pretty much all it can do, I think. So as you can see, the Saw Spear does really good damage just from the DPS. You would think it wouldn't do as much as it does, but yeah, the Hunter Axe is another good weapon, but because it's a little bit slower, it doesn't do quite as much damage. So one of the things here is if you stand in that where that item is, that'll happen. And if you do stand in it, you will die, I believe. Just straight up die. So we've been over this way so far. So the other way goes down to Old Yharnam. This way. So Old Yharnam isn't too difficult an area. There is quite a lot of enemies that will gank you, but generally the area itself is not too difficult. Ugh, fucking dogs. There we go. So one of the other things is after Bloodstar Beast, we will be able to also pick up a few hunter tools, which is nice. Obviously we don't have any yet. And we might be kind of like running around a few areas just to get a few hunter tools early than we normally would. If you stand here, you can actually lure these dogs down without the rifleman attacking. There we go. Makes it a little bit easier. I just walked into that. That was pretty bad. The good thing is, you usually have a lot of blood vials just going through the area, so. So yeah, we'll be able to get a few hunter tools as well, which is nice. This guy here is Alfred. If you say cooperate, then he'll give you 3 fire paper, which is pretty nice. You don't really need to talk to him more, but I'm going to try and do the NPC quests, most of them. But the fire paper is going to be nice on the Bloodstar Beast. That makes the fight go a lot quicker because he is weak to fire because he is a beast, and the Saw Spear will do extra damage to him because it's serrated as well. A good thing to note is that the Threaded Cane is also serrated in its whip state, only when it's transformed though. So let me see. You know, I haven't used the Saw Spear in its transformed state very much, but it's because the range isn't really as important as just how quick the untransformed state is. But you can use either. Also, if you prefer the Saw Cleaver, I think it has overhead transformed attacks instead of like these slashing ones. So if you prefer that moveset, you might want to use the Saw Cleaver instead. So I picked up 4 antidotes here. They're the first ones I picked up. They basically just cure poison, but I am going to want those on my bar here. And pungent blood cocktails are going to be useful for the boss as well. And here's the lantern to old Yharnam. I don't believe there's anything else in here, so... And I'm not going to probably upgrade the flame sprayer on this character. What I might do is actually just show you on a separate character how good the flame sprayer can be, because it can be really good. Oh, can we get him? Yeah. So that's a Wandering Nightmare there, and I wanted to make sure that I was able to get both items at the same time, otherwise you got to like go back up twice. So an interesting thing over here is the Hunter's Torch. So if I can kill this guy here, I don't know if that one will notice. Yes, the Hunter's Torch is now over there. Interestingly enough, it does scale B with Arcane, and it does okay damage for the stage. I mean, these enemies are weak to fire, but you can see that you actually deal a decent amount of damage. And I believe you can upgrade the Hunter's Torch as well. Not that I would really recommend it, honestly, but it could be funny to use. Obviously, it's not going to be useful for very long at all. But the other thing it does in this area is some of the beast enemies will cower away if you do have it equipped at all. So what that'll do is... I actually don't find it that useful because they like back off and then I can never hit them. So I don't know, it might be not as useful as you think it is, but yeah, it can be helpful in this area. And that is Jura talking to us, the guy over on the gun. I'm just going to skip his dialogue. I'm going to try and get the gesture from Jura, even though it is kind of a pain in the ass to leave him alive during this area. So you can see this guy's kind of like backing away, and you can like just attack him with the torch. But the Saw Spear works just as well with these guys, really. But you saw he kind of backed off there, and it's kind of annoying because you got to keep like chasing him down. So these enemies won't poison you, but the hooded ones here, I believe the female ones according to the guidebook, these ones will, if they do hit you. Ooh, I almost walked into that fire.
You are a skilled hunter, adept, merciless.
Yeah, there's a lot of enemies like just hiding out in this area. Holy shit. That was a pretty nasty combo there. And as you can see, it does build up poison. Luckily, I am wearing Gascoigne's set, so poison isn't too bad. You get quite a lot of resistance to it. Now, I'm going to take a shortcut here and just drop down. The reason for that is you need to run past Jura while he's shooting at you, and there's no items up on this, up on that ledge there, so I think he can maybe shoot you through the door from here, but it's much safer just to drop down. So that's an interesting gem there. I don't think they drop triangles normally. Not that it's very useful, but you know, it's kind of interesting. So we can see him taking taking a shot here. He's going to blow up the barrels, which will kill one of the enemies. Yeah, the other one's still on me. And then if you dash through here, he will blow up these other barrels. Fortunately, didn't kill the other enemy, but we should be alright. Okay. So antidote, run across here. There's a lot of shards in this area, so you will be able to get a second weapon to +3 if you haven't already. And there's some more fire paper there, which once again are useful for the boss, especially if you die. It helps to have quite a lot of them. I thought he was dead there. It helps to have quite a lot of them, just in case you do fight the boss and you do manage to die to him. Which, you know, he is quite difficult for beginners, especially when I was starting the game. He was pretty difficult, honestly, for one of the early bosses. But Gascoigne's pretty difficult for an early boss as well, so. Especially when you're not used to the game and such. Get a transformed attack in there. So there's a hunter enemy that's Jura's friend right over here. And he's kind of annoying. He's the guy that drops the bone marrow ash if you want to use the flame sprayer or to shoot the boss for whatever reason, though it won't do much damage yet. So one of the things you can do is you can actually trap him over in this corner here, and he'll keep trying to run to get back to his starting position to fight you, but he won't actually attack you as he's running back to get to it. So you can actually just trap him here, and it's kind of an annoying fight if you don't kind of exploit his AI, but it shouldn't be too difficult. But this is the easiest way to do it, and yeah. I may as well do it this way. Most hunter enemies can heal at least once. I think generally they can heal once, which can be annoying, but you know, they can't spam heals generally. Okay, so he's shooting at me from up there. I don't think he sees me right now. Okay, so down here is a few items, including the rifle spear, which is more of a skill blood tinge weapon, I believe. So not incredibly useful for us. That's a grab there. Okay. So any blood tinge weapons, unfortunately, aren't going to be very useful for us. One thing these enemies do is they do scream, and what that'll do is a bit of a charge attack there. Oh shit. They do scream, and what that'll do is will bring other nearby enemies in this area towards them. So it can turn into a gank pretty easily. But the enemies themselves aren't terribly difficult. And it seems like a lot of them drop vials anyway. This is another gemstone, I think. Aww. I get hit for wanting to hit him with a torch. He's probably trying to tell me something. So, rifle spear should be up here. Just on the side here. You can actually miss it quite easily, but yeah, it's more of a skill weapon, and it does scale with blood tinge at least a little bit, but not very much. I don't think it's a particularly good weapon, and after they nerfed it. They nerfed it like pretty early on when people found out that you can add flat damage to each pellet because it's basically a shotgun. And then they realized it does absurd amounts of damage if you do that, so they just put an end to that, really. So Jura is firing at me right now, but there is an item back here. It's nothing big. he's still up there. That's good. It was just the echo item. So now we can either go and fight Jura, which I'm going to try and skip him now because I do kind of want his gesture. Although it is annoying to leave him alive, but that's fine. So if you wanna go fight Jura, go up that ladder there. The easiest way to kill him is just to shoot him 4 times as soon as you reach the top of the ladder immediately, and he'll pretty much always fall off the ledge then before he really starts attacking you, and then you could just save and reload and get the item. One thing about Jura's quest, which I don't know if they ever patched or not, is you can knock down this oil barrel to kill a bunch of enemies below, but if you wanted to do Jura's quest later on, I think that might actually lead to complications, because one of the enemies, or a few of the enemies, might run into that every time and die. And if you want to get Jura's gesture, you have to meet him where he normally is after meeting a certain boss, and you need to be able to reach him without killing any enemies. So it can cause issues, so I'm not going to hit it. It just kills some of the enemies below. And I always hate this jump. Even though all you get out of it is a messenger hat, it's like I always barely make it. Okay, so we're going to drop down onto that. And we're just going to run out the back way here because there's going to be quite a lot of enemies. And they are buffed, you can see by the red eyes, and they also have more hit points, and these guys are actually poisoning now slightly, which they didn't before. So I think the enemies on the lower ground are buffed by the one of the screams of these. I think it's these bigger variations of the female ones that do the screams and stuff like that. There's the combos. The good thing is if you do kind of like just drag them out here, you can get them to kill a lot of them at the same time. So I'm gonna go back around. Did I miss an item there? No, just a blood stain. I'm gonna go back around because there's another way to get to that bottom floor there, and I hate these crows. Worst enemy. Worst enemy. Well, actually, the dogs are worse. I gotta be real here. So yeah, there's another way into that sort of church area. There's also a shortcut here back up to the basically where I was before I went on the rafters. So we got quite a few echoes already, so I'm going to go and spend those before the boss instead of trying to like kill them before I do, because they'll probably die. So yeah, this is the other way in. Up there is the rafter bridge we went across first. There is an enemy that will drop down if you do go this way first, and will attack you from while you're killing these guys, so be aware of that. That has killed me before because I just forgot that guy was there. Man, stamina comes back really fast in this game. I'm always surprised by it. It's why you don't really need much stamina and faster weapons at all. You're pretty much fine with just the standard, like I've got 12 endurance for this origin, but like 15 to 20 is fine for most characters as well. So down here is another item, and there's one more item over that side, and as well as maybe some more enemies over here. Yeah, there's another item here. That is a very telegraphed grab. They like to drop gemstones as well, apparently. And another one of these guys. I think they're pretty much all dead by this point, except this guy. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna grab the ritual blood to get the first chalice that we get after a Bloodstar Beast. And the first chalice is where we will be able to get our first radial fire gems. So technically you could do that before getting a plus 6 weapon. All you need to do is kill the first boss and then make it to layer 2 where you'll be able to pick up radial fire gems. I didn't actually pick them up, did I? You know, as I was explaining that, I forgot to actually take them off the altar. So yeah, it's literally just there. And I think I got all the items in there, so. Okay, so coming up here is another Wandering Nightmare. And it's just over here. So there is 3 enemies here, which makes it kind of annoying. If you want to kill this guy, guaranteed, then you might want to throw a Molotov at him. Which will kill it instantly. Funnily enough, they have quite good physical defense, but like no elemental defense. Those little Wandering Nightmares. So there's 2 werewolves in this area. And the other one's coming across. More of these. So those punching blood cocktails will distract the boss, which is nice. I could just R1 spam this guy. The nice thing is, even if you keep swinging after they're dead, it will regain your health. Okay. So we can't open this door right now. Man, I just got a bunch of shards, like 26 now. And those werewolf enemies will very frequently drop them as well, so. And there's another one attached to the side of this building. Now, I tried to hit him with a pebble to make him come down, but apparently it didn't work last time. But all you need to do is go over there to make him fall down. He's meant to ambush you as you're in that corridor, but you just kill him immediately. So beast blood pellets are kind of an interesting item. You have a thing called beasthood. It shows you your maximum beasthood when you go into the status window. It's actually negative affected by the amount of insight that you have, and a higher amount of beasthood means that you deal more damage, but you have less defense. Ow. Oh, Jesus. Just got absolutely destroyed there. I dodged, like, terribly. Like, the first few times there. So, beasthood, if you do take one, you do have, like, a bar that fills up for a minute or so, where consecutive attacks will raise it and cause you to deal more damage, but lower your defense. Now, the downside to this is that it's only on physical builds that you can actually take effect of that. It's for physical weapons, not any elemental weapons that Arcane would take advantage of. So, unfortunately, it's not going to work when we actually get elemental weapons, but right now I'm not using them for that. So this is the shortcut back to the lantern, which I'm going to take before I head to the boss, and that's some more fire paper. Okay, so ladder up, we're going to go back and level up, and then we should be able to kill the boss quite easily. I'm going to have to get a few items in check now. So, I don't really need the oil worms, but beast blood pellets, we're going to take one of those. Where's fire paper? Fire paper and the cocktail. The cocktail just kind of lures them to where you throw it. It can be useful. I mean, if you really want to spam them, you can kill the boss quite easily if you just spam them and then just attack him as he's like fighting in the corner. But I'm probably only going to throw one at the start of the fight. Oh yeah, if you have 0 insight, you come back, you can still level up, but the doll is actually a doll. Which is why you need to get the first insight before you can actually level up for the first time. But after then, it doesn't really matter. Okay. So I want to get Vitality to 20, and then I'm probably just going to pump the rest of my points into Arcane for now. So 19 should be good. And that should be all I need to do, really. I've got Gascoigne set, which gives pretty good poison resistance, because this boss loves to poison you. And if you are having trouble with this boss, you can either use the Flame Sprayer, or upgrade it to +3, and then use Bone Marrow Ash and Oil Worms on the boss. And just, the main thing is to strafe to his left, because he'll rarely hit you, if at all. Or if you're having trouble, you can also use Molotovs, which you can buy more at the messenger shop, so it's not really a big deal if you use them. But I'm probably just going to kill him with my weapon, because it's honestly quicker that way. But what you could spam like 10 Molotovs at him to start the fight, or to finish the fight, or whatever. So those enemies have respawned, but I can just run past them. This enemy here. Okay. Now there is this red eye werewolf here that can be really annoying, because he does have more hit points, and he can poison you as well for some reason. I don't know why really, but yeah. And there is one more Wandering Nightmare right here that will drop some more shards, just at the side here. Yeah. There is an item right before then, so you might see the item first and not kill him. It's just here. Okay, so there's a few hidden enemies in this area. They're not too difficult from what it seems. Okay. So after we kill Bloodstar Beast, we can make our way to get a fire weapon and then absolutely destroy Vicar Amelia, and probably the Cleric Beast as well, because the Cleric Beast gives you a badge that will allow you to buy Bold Hunter's Mark, which I kind of need if I'm going to farm the Chalice Dungeons, just to make it more convenient for me to travel back to the bonfire. Bonfire? Lantern. I always make that mistake. Alright, so, boss time. So, Beast Blood Pellet, Fire Paper, Cocktail. That should be all I need, really. And you'll see the meter going up as I fight here. So I'm just going to throw the cocktail there and basically just use transform attacks. Unfortunately, the first thing he did there was do one of his attacks where he like goes the furthest way possible away from you. So one of the things is I can kind of spam him in the corner here, and then just dodge to his left, or dodge left, his right. That's one of his combos that can be pretty devastating. But as you can see, I'm pretty much just absolutely destroying him here. And when he stops to actually do anything, you can basically just completely combo him. Yeah, that's a grab there, I believe. And he poisons you in his third form as you're just standing next to him. But as you can see, you can absolutely destroy him with just a physical weapon there. But I would recommend the Fire Paper. Okay, so that was Bloodstar Beast. Not too bad, and he drops our first chalice there, which is nice. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to immediately remember to actually put that chalice down. Because it does cost some echoes to do so, and you know, I don't want to be stuck like farming for echoes or anything. So 1,000 echoes to put this first chalice down. I'm not going to go into it right now until I have a fire weapon. Although you can easily, pretty much the first boss can be a little bit tricky. As you can see, I could just buy like a bunch of Molotov cocktails, but it's pretty much alright. Don't think I have anything else here. I can get a small resonant bell, which I probably will. I'll probably try and do some of the other NPC quests, so I will need that to co-op at some point. And then just repair. So the rest of this we can just use to level. But yeah, I probably won't need these things on my bar anymore, so I'll just remove them. The first boss of the Chalice Dungeon, you can just oil or Molotov him. It's pretty effective. So what I'll do is I'll get Arcane to 20, and then I'll start putting Vitality up again. I kind of want to raise them both to about 30 steadily, with Arcane being the main focus after that point, really. And before I left, I wanted to show off the Flame Sprayer for the Bloodstar Beast. So here's another character. I do actually get poisoned in this fight, and could have probably played it better, but more or less it just absolutely shreds beasts because they're weak to fire. So I use both Bone Marrow Ash and Oil Urns here, but I mostly just spam Bone Marrow Ash and then just basically waste all my bullets on him. So it's pretty fast, but either way, with a fire weapon as well, either way is extremely fast. So I actually do get poisoned here. I'm not wearing Gascoigne's gear, but apart from that, just destroyed. And I just show my stats here at the end with the +3 Flame Sprayer. So there you go.